What's the primary difference between Chris Cornell's distortion technique and Chester Bennington's technique?
I wanna hear, I wanna feel like I'm close to something real. I wanna find something I've wanted all along. Somewhere I belong. I wanna hear, I wanna feel like I'm somewhere I belong. I wanna hear, I wanna feel like I'm somewhere I belong.
Now, me singing a passage from Super Unknown. Now let's just address the elephant in the room, that these two singers were very, very different. Different voice types, different genres, different bents and tendencies. But let's not use that as a reason not to extract techniques and experiment with our own voices. This is what is most fun for me to do. Let's first talk about placement. In this range, I want to find something I've wanted all along. Cornell would add a weight and a broodiness to it. I want to find something I've wanted all along. It's placed more in the back of the throat. Yeah. Like that. He also does this thing, and you can hear this all over, especially the Super Unknown album, where he out of things. I want to find something I've wanted all along. There's not a tongue cupping thing. It's not this sort of thing. It's just a It's a little bit of a twang going on even when he's low. Very Cornell in terms of placement and weight. He's also very closed and covered. If we take Chester's approach, he gets his face out of the way and places the sound less back here and more here, through the nose, open vowels, smile. And though we're not talking about distortion yet, these two placements play a key role in what shapes their distortion techniques. Cornell's distortion takes this fundamental closed placement, and back resonance, crow, 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 and we mix up into our upper chest, lower head voice, like this, and then we add a false chord, very pure false chord distortion over it. Erase all the pain, no, it's gone. Notice it's still covered, gone, gone, gone. But there's still a bright element to it. False chord squeeze or engagement over that mixed note. While adjusting placement. Chester, he's actually going to slightly disengage. It's not going to be a pure false chord thing. What I thought was never real. Bright posture. What I thought. So I've got this sort of a raspy, loose sort of sound like this. And then I'm going to compress into that. So there is false chord engagement, but there's a looseness behind what Chester is doing in addition to this placement. What I thought was never real. No. What I thought was never real. Yeah. Notice there's more. It's more. It's more of a scream because there's this disengaged, loose sort of fry thing happening before the compression. There's an extra step. As Chester pushes this technique higher, he remains that sort of loose chord coordination, and that creates those blistering screams. Somewhere I wanna. So with Super Unknown era Cornell, at least, we think crowed mix and pure false chord engagement, false chord compression. Yeah! With Chester, we let it fall apart a little bit into fry, and then we compress over it. We cover for Cornell, we get the face out of the way for Chester. It's important to note that experimenting with these different types of placements and ways to moderate your air can be very, very difficult or even impossible if you don't understand the fundamentals of how to support and feel your voice. If you'd like help doing this, click the link below in the pinned comment or video description and join my free singing course. Do the exercises there, and then come back to this video a second time and you'll see what I mean. Here are 2 videos on these 2 of my favorite singers, Chester and Chris Cornell.